Alright, so a little bit of story time today as I wait for the SCUF Infinity vs Xbox One Elite Controller Round 2 to upload. So, I wake up, I come in here to my gaming room, and I go ahead and I start the upload for the video, and I realize, you know what, I'm kinda hungry. So, like most people, I start to head to the kitchen. And I see a newspaper laying down on the counter, and you know, I usually don't think twice about it, I kind of just walk around it. If I want to know the news, I'll look it up online, but I kind of glance at it, and something catches my eye. It says, a good, or a nothing like an eyewitness to ruin a good story. And I'm like, whoa, like, that kind of sparked my interest, you know? I'm like, what's happening here? Was there like a murderer on the loose and this guy was just making stuff up? So I flipped back to the page that it said that it was on, and as usual, it was complete bullshit. And it was just, you know, it was that quote and talking about that quote. So they kind of fished you in. So I'm going to tell you guys one of the biggest bullshit things I've ever done before in my life and got away with it. And actually it was just last semester, and I think it's pretty cool, and hopefully I can teach you guys something too. So in one of my classes we had this, it was just, you know, a normal grade. And I think it was because we missed 4 or 5 snow days, and she was just like, alright, we have to do something that equals up to that work to make those days up, so I've decided you guys can write a 10-page paper. And I'm like, a 10-page paper? Now, I'm pretty good at papers, like 1 to 2 pages, I can knock out pretty easily. But my bullshit ability doesn't go past the 3rd page, almost ever. And I'm like, 10 pages? So I'm like, I'm really just sweating it. I'm not wanting to do it. And the due date was coming up. I think she gave us like 3 weeks to work on it. And so it was coming up. Still haven't done anything. And I decide to not do it. And that's a big decision, you know. I'm sure you guys have made that decision before. Just, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not going to do it. And that was me. So I'm sitting there, and I'm like, okay, you know what, it was like a day to go, and I was like, okay, I've got to do something, like, there's no way I'm just gonna not do a 10-page paper. So I go into my computer, and I start working on it, and I researched the topic. It was something about computers, and I'm like looking, I'm like, oh yeah, this is kind of good. I could write about a page and a half on this. And I was like, no way am I squeezing out 10 pages though. So what I do, and this is what's gonna teach you guys how to get away with some stuff. And a lot of teachers are not gonna know what this is. Some will, so be careful. Basically what I did was I typed the word like start in a text document, or you can just do random letters, and then copy and paste that word over and over and over and over again until you get to about 10 pages. And the reason for this is because they can see file size. It's the only thing that they're going to be able to see, and if it looks about the same file size as another person, like if it just says like 1 kilobyte, they're going to know you just totally faked it, like there's nothing in that document. But if you copy and paste a word, or you make it like, you know, fuller, and they see that it's going to be like a couple of megs, then they're going to be like, okay, yeah, there was something in here. So what you're going to want to do is just do that. Save the document to your desktop, and then right click it, and it's going to say something like edit in Notepad or open in Notepad. And whenever you open up in Notepad, you're going to notice that none of your work is there. It's just going to be a bunch of numbers, letters, maybe some symbols. And what you're wanting to do is backspace some of those symbols. Just take out like a little chunk, not a lot, just a little chunk. And whenever you do that, save that notepad, close the notepad, and then try to open the Word document, and you're going to realize that you're not going to be able to. It's just going to be locked. It's going to say an error has occurred. Now take that and email that to your teacher, and she's going to try to open it, and it's not going to work. She's going to think it's her fault, and she's going to come to you, and you're going to be like, oh, well, I did that on the school computer. Maybe I could just, I don't know, go back to that computer and look for it, because like there's so many laptops, I don't know if I can or not. and she's gonna be like, okay. She's gonna look at it, probably get some help, and then someone else is gonna say, they're gonna be smart. They're gonna be like, let's see that file size. And they look, it's like, yeah, it's about the same file size as everyone else's. Okay. It's tough luck. It's a 10-page. I'm not gonna have him do it all over again. So here's just a grade. I got a 95 on it. And, you know, she never even talked to me about it. She never brought up that it didn't work. I just got a 95 on it. And in fact, to tell you what kind of bullshit teachers lay out, there was like, it was like a month later, she was like, oh yeah, you brought that point up in your paper. And I was like, oh yeah, I did, didn't I? And she's like, yeah. And so the only reason why I say that you might want to research whatever you're going to talk about, unless you know what you're going to talk about, is if the teacher ever gets inquisitive or tries to ask you questions on it, you'll be able to answer those. You'll be like, yeah, I talked about this, and this because of this, and it's going to make you sound more educated on the subject, and it's going to make the teacher believe that you've actually done it. So hopefully I taught you guys something. Maybe you guys just, I don't know, start doing that now. Don't do it too much. Like, don't have 3 papers in a row. Just, yep, you can't open them. Too bad, because a teacher's going to know that. Like, they're not dumb. But, you know, if there's one that you don't want to do, and try not to do it on, like, a paragraph. Save that thing up for whenever the teacher busts out the 5-er. The 5-er or 10-er. Hopefully you guys like this, and I will see you tomorrow.